Leech chest appears to be down. Oops. Oh. What do you want? What time is it? 10 minutes. Alright, let's try this again. Should be able to get over 35. is better than 20. Close the file. Because you're calling the wrong dude. Calling the wrong dude. What am I doing? There. Nope. Oh, okay. It's not that. That was weird. Must have got that wrong. Okay. Let's see. Right now we have only me watching, it looks like. So we will wait for a little while, and while we're waiting, I'll do some Puzzle Storm. And you guys, when you're ready, you come on in. What is this? Why am I having trouble seeing what this is? Here? Here? And why am I having trouble seeing these? here. Here. Oh, hi, Mike. You ready for the event? Can you hear me okay? Let's see if I can pull this a little closer. Can you hear me okay? Oh, look at this. All right, good. You're the first one here. Let's see. How do I do this? I guess I'll just keep it right there. How's that sound? Oops, we're gonna pin this guy. And hey, you know, this might be a good opportunity. Let me see. Did you have a good game that's recent? Win the queen. Win the queen again. Win the queen again, apparently. And then is this almost checkmate? That's almost checkmate. I have one I can send you the PGN if you like. Yes. Because I mean, if you're the only one here right now, we can look at it right now real quick. And I can multitask this stuff. This ought to be real fun. Why am I missing what this is? Is it here? And here. And win the queen again. Win the rook. Win the queen, right? We got checkmate. Win the queen. And yeah. I have no clue what this one is. Oh. Ugh. I wonder why they did that. Mike, try sending it through Lichess. Can you do that? I don't know why it did that. I wonder if it's because the message was sent and it was too big or something, and it just parsed it wrong. Yeah, send it through Lichess. Let's see. Learn. Study. Open tab. What? Oh, wow. Temporarily disabled. Lichess apparently has been kind of wonkers. Well, it's noon at my time, and I'm looking for people that are coming in from chess teachers and learners to try to answer some beginner questions. And one of them happens to be somebody that I've hopefully gotten to know and maybe call a friend. Big Beardy Mike here. He's got a possible PGN that I can import, but for some reason apparently it's not importing now. Wonder why it's not importing. How many? 2 viewers so far. Mike, if you're the only person here, then at least it's worth it that somebody came. Oh, wow. We're just not having very good time with this stuff. Import. Aha, we got it. Hey, we got chess teachers and learners here. That's great. You're playing black. Okay, so first off, I noticed that when you played black, you went like this. And did you notice you were dropping the pawn here? I did when he took it. All right. Okay, so the common idea is when you're developing as a player, you want to develop your knights out. That's okay. You don't have to really learn. To be honest, I didn't know very much about openings until I hit at least 1800 anyway. But what you want to know is that you want to know like general strategy. So like there's a common idea that you want to try to get your knights out first before your bishops, and that was like postulated by somebody named Emanuel Lasker. They later figured out that when you're developing throughout the opening, you're looking at things that if you notice, your white opponent put knight f3. So what this logic is doing is it's looking at your position as if there was a lesser piece. So like when you play e4 like this, you're opening up the bishop, and the bishop becomes the most active piece. So after that, when they play in response one of these pawns, they're doing similar, but the knights come out because they become least active. So you're bringing out your knights first because not only are these least active, but you want to try to make the rook active, and you want to try to castle and protect your king. So their logic is that usually knights are the ones that tend to be the least active early, and bishops are the most active early. So you tend to not develop the bishops first, you develop the knights first. So that's kind of why his move was a little more appropriate than yours. Also, there are gambits where you can play bishop c5 and then sacrifice the pawn, but usually as like a beginning player, they don't recommend it unless you know exactly what you're doing. And it's really kind of what do you call it? Risky. Let's call it risky. So whenever you're making a move, you want to try to look and see if they have already attacked something or they can attack something. So let's move forward a little bit. Hold on one sec. Is the chess teachers and learners, is that Howard? What is this thing? Oh, good. We got a new subscriber. Okay, that's what I thought. Oh, perfect. Do we have anybody else here? Let's see. Okay, so E3. If I said that this was passive, do you know why, Mike? Yes, actually, that is actually the answer. Not stronger piece, but just it's not developing a piece. So, like, if you're gonna play E3, you want to figure out what you're doing with this bishop. So you're probably gonna want to play. Oh, I'm sorry, you're not white. Let me do this. The question still pertains to you, but I gotta flip this around a little bit. How do I flip it around? How do I flip it? Flip. There you go. Now I don't have to worry about which way I'm going. But yeah, no. If white was not developing properly, he would bring the bishop out. Or if we find out that he's developing the bishop to G2, that's another idea. Yeah, it blocks it. That's exactly right. It blocks on the bishop. Also, for some reason, I don't know why he didn't take that knight on E5. According to what you said, he did end up taking it later, like next move. Okay, yeah. So he ended up taking it next move. So if you look at the right side here, you'll notice that this is actually still in the opening, which that means that this is an actual gambit, sound or not. So one of the moves is D6, and then after knight F6, bishop E2, which has a 50-50 score with 2 games. And then right after that, he takes, and that is actually out of the opening. But to be quite honest, I don't see why it's not in the books, because knight takes E5 seems pretty... Unless, of course... No. I was thinking there's a possibility that the knight could go to G4, but it's not. So... what you have here is... now that he's taken the pawn and you're castled, this is actually pretty good. You're castling right here. And then now what white is doing, which is actually correct, is he's threatening your active pieces in order to either trade them off or make you move them. So bishop e3 is probably set to try to trade it off, and it's actually a pretty good move. If you want an idea... oh, you're talking about this? You're just paranoid? Yeah, unfortunately, that's hard to get rid of. And the best way to do it is to continually remind yourself as to certain positions. So when you're back here, you want to look at it as he's attacking my pawn. So I want to either counterattack him or I want to defend it. Now the two ways that you counter, or the way that you counterattack, is knight f6. So it looks like this. Now you've grabbed the pawn, but there's a whole theory behind this, and it's actually pretty good theory. The recent, I think, main line is still either pawn up here or knight here. And then I believe the theory states you don't want to take this knight, you want to move it back. But if they move d4, you're moving d5, bishop to d3, bishop to d6, castle, and I believe it's castle. And then they're trying to play central moves like this, and you're trying to just keep your knight like in the center. And then if I remember correctly, if you can manage to trade off this knight and get your queen to h4, you might have a pretty decent attack. So if you like this, it's called the Petrov. Petroff defense, or the Russian defense. It's both of them, and when you research this, no, we want actual. This might not be that bad. Yeah, this is almost always perfect. So like when you see something like this, this is the Remote Chess Academy. So this is an actual 25-minute lecture that's done by Igor Smirnov, and that's he's a really good teacher. I actually consider him one of my teachers. So I would look at that first because it's probably a good primer for that defense, and it might give you something to work with when you're trying to learn how to fend off of e4. Where is it? Where did my this? Okay. Yeah. So that's, if you like that, it's a really respectable defense. Now, let's see. This here, when you're looking at this kind of thing, it's good to look at that, but then you got to be careful on whether or not you're seeing ghosts. And that's a common thing, is when you're seeing ghosts, you let's say you think something bad is going to happen, but either you're missing whatever it is that you can defend, or the attack is just not there. Everybody sees ghosts. It's all over the place. I see it. It goes all the way up to Grandmaster. So let's see. Castle. So this is that idea I was telling you about. He's offering to trade. And what I wanted to tell you, which this game, you're not doing that bad right now. You're down a pawn, but you want to be very careful as to where and how you develop. So he's developing his bishop here in order to attack yours. So the idea that you want to get is, you want to kind of go ahead and trade, or let him trade for you. So when you're trading, you want to get something out of the trade. So in this case, you could trade and he'll take, and you do mess up the pawns, but it might be considered fixing the pawns because they're pawns that are in the center. The doubled pawns are actually in the center. No, it's fine. The problem is that you can't really move the bishop and keep your position. So you can't, let's do this. You can't move the bishop off of this line and keep your position steady. Does that make sense? So the idea that I wanted to give to you is that you could retreat. You can actually move back this way, and then if he captures, you capture this way, and it opens up your rook. And this is actually very common. If you switch it around, And then let's say here, here, knight here, here. Okay, so technically, if you are really, really principled, you don't have to move this guy. But if you want to see what he'll do and you actually want something specific, you can move the bishop back this way. And it does the exact same thing as what I told you, which is when you capture, you're capturing back and you're opening up the rook. Now, with that in mind, this capture is a mistake for that person. So if you go back to yours right here, when you move back here, if he captures, that's a mistake for him because he's trading off an active piece and then creating another active piece for you. So you're getting all the benefits out of that. Yeah, there should be somebody in this chat, right? I mean, it shouldn't just be you, I believe. There was like, let's see, there was like 25 people that said they were coming. It looks like I have 3. So the 3 would indicate that I'm 1, you're 2, and then there's somebody else. Yeah, you know, oh, you know what? That's actually a good idea. That's a good idea. Looked like Lucas Hansen is here. There's somebody named Ranks. Hi, Ranks. If you want to ask that question at any time, you can. I'm trying to see if we can get more people coming in here, because I'd like to see more like the 25 people that said that they're coming. It looks like somebody posted, it looks like Howard posted about 9 minutes ago saying that we had the event going on. And I'm wondering if mine, let's see, Facebook groups, permalink, copy. And then let's see if that helps. Yeah, I'm streaming in 2 places, Mike. Yeah, that's the beauty of my my setup is I have something called what is this called again? XSplit. My streaming software is called XSplit, and I actually can. I can stream to as many places as I want and as many times as I want. Oh, the problem with that is that it's dependent on my depending on my connection is what the limit is. So I have a gigabyte connection, so streaming to 2 places isn't that bad. Yeah, you know what? That's what I was talking about. Was according to my stats, I have 3 viewers in YouTube and 3 viewers in Twitch. So it looks like you're not the only one in Twitch, Mike. You there's apparently somebody else that's being a little quiet. So hopefully we could get some of these people that were really asking these questions to come in here. There was a really good one. There's a really good one I saw this morning. Because I have a lot of backup ideas. I can go through this and Puzzle Rush, no. For some reason, now that we're actually doing this, I can't find the actual question. Yeah, I see this one here. I answered on it. The England Gambit. I can discuss that some if the person is here. What's your what if you're still there, Ranks? What's your rating? Yes, yes. When buying a here, as a matter of fact, you just scrolled past the self analysis I did of the game. This one. Um, Matter of fact, I will show you specifically what kind of board you should get. No, it's um, chess wholesale. So it doesn't matter where you get the equipment. I usually recommend wholesale chess because most of the time they advertise wholesale prices. So when you're looking for equipment, you go to a specialty place, and you do exactly what you do with everything. You compare prices. So I'm going to show you two sites. Shoot. Why am I forgetting what... Oh, it's the Chess Palace. Tournament store. So I'm going to show you two sites, and what they do is when you look at the store, you just simply compare the prices. So you got all kinds of boards like this. For some reason, this doesn't have what I thought it did. Oh, I see what's going on. This isn't working for it. Got to be a second place. Yeah, wholesale chess. House of Staunton. There we go. All right, so I usually go to wholesale chess, but House of Staunton is another way of doing this. Just look at chess sets. You want tournament sets. How it says tournament sets, and you can just pick the one that basically gives you the most for your money. Probably the best is something like this one right here. Boy, these are expensive. Okay, yeah. Let's do this one. Good. So I don't know if you can see this well, but this is a tournament board, and it's looks about that big, and almost all tournament sets have algebraic or not, yeah, algebraic notation on them. Everybody uses it. Everybody. So this one is starting off at about $30, little over $30. When you compare the prices, over here, you got basically the same stuff, and they're starting off literally at like $13 over here. This is the basic one. You spend $13, it's good. This is why I was showing you wholesale chess versus other places. So I always go to wholesale chess, and that's usually what happens. Following from the FB group, Chess Teachers and Learners. Hi, Eric. I'm glad you're here. As soon as you have a question, feel free to ask. That's what I'm here for. So did I answer that question for you, Ranks, good enough? Absolutely nothing wrong with getting algebraic notation boards. Okay, so he can go here, which puts the tempo to your bishop. Now, Mike, for your question here, oh, in the UK. Let me say this real quick, and then I'll see if I can help you with that. When you moved here, Mike, he was able to go here, which prompted you to move the bishop again. But if he didn't move here and he went here, what's wrong with this bishop move? Do you know? You're a bit on. That's good to admit that, actually. The reason that this is bad is because it blocks in your bishop again. And I know that this is not you're not in the process of thinking through certain things, but when you start blocking in pieces, you have to think about where you're going to put them. So like when you put the bishop there, if he lets you just sit it there, you have to think about moving this bishop the other direction. And it's little stuff like that that gets you better. So once you start thinking about the little stuff like that, you start showing up that you will start getting better positions against better players. And when I was developing, it really wasn't that easy to figure out what it is that you needed to do in order to start, showing that you have better play. So he went here, you went here, here, here. So you did wind up blocking in this bishop to free up this bishop, but then he's got 1, 2, 3 pieces out. So he's ahead of you in development, and you're down a pawn. So what I'm going to say is that from here, you could have actually opened up the position and tried to get more development, and that's what's important, is to try to get more development. So you want to play d5 here. And then you can open up the bishop and the knight, and you are down a pawn, but you have a lot of development now, and you're castled. So if you can manage to keep his king in the center, then you have compensation for the pawn. Does that make sense? Awesome. All right, so let me. Well, I'm going to get back to the game in a second, but I want to see if we have a good chess store. Oh, in the UK, because there's got to be something in that area that's easy to get. Yeah, I think you have the right idea. Wholesale chess, do these? No, not US. I put US. Apparently you have better eyesight than I do. Official Staunton UK on online chess shop. That's the top rated. And the Regency Chess, it looks like you have 3 basic ones. The Regency Chess has a lot of ads. Let's take a look. Whoa. They look like they're a premium service. Hi. There, mister.
Is this YouTube?
Yeah. Well, actually, I'm on
Discord.
YouTube and Twitch.
Is this live?
Yes. It's live. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. They're not very intuitive, are they? Oh, final board. Chessboard. Let's try that. There we go. Yeah. It looks like the average price ranks, in case you're still with me, the average price. I'm not very good at the price conversion for the euro or pound to the US dollar, but it looks like they're kind of similar. Boy, my auto moderator doesn't like you, Mike. I want to know why. What are you typing in so much that's making it to where my auto moderator is making you time out? So yeah, ranks. I don't think it's by very much. I think yeah. So where to go? What, Mr. Hunty?
I'm on YouTube and I see your live stream, but it says it's when I click on it, it says it's restricted, so I can't watch it.
Well, that sucks. It's probably because you're too young.
Yeah.
So this is the sites, the official Staunton UK online chess shop. I'd probably try first, and go from there. Hey Eric, you're free to ask questions as you want. So that's what this is for. What I'm really doing right now is kind of waiting for people to join up, maybe looking for questions, and then Mike here has a game that I've been looking at, kind of in a relaxed form, because I've analyzed his games before, and it was a rather old one. He said he didn't play like that anymore, so I wanted something that was a little more recent. So, are you unmuted, Mike? I don't know why this thing is muting you. Oh, you're trying to get it. That's okay too. It's mostly just inside of the. Let me see if I can actually find one real quick. Chess teachers and learners. Home. That's really weird. All right. I found it. I found it. This is a perfect question, and what it is just for like an idea as to why this is coming up. There's been a lot of people that have been interested in chess lately, and they've been getting into the chess teachers and learners group. And one of the motivations is due to that Queen's Gambit show. There's been, I'm going to say probably on average, let's say if every site got it, like 1,000 people for every site has been signed up just from the Queen's Gambit movie. And they all of them are basically beginner level, like in between rated 100 to about 1400. And you've got questions that are similar to this one. It says, I'm a beginner player. And it says, is it better to play beyond your level and learn from your blunders, or play at your level, win a few? I'm playing against a 1200 rated computer, and I am not winning against that level for now. This person's problem is that right now, from what it looks like, if we, oops, where'd it go? Oh no, there it is. Okay, if we highlight what this person is having a problem with, it's one, she's playing computers, and that sometimes indicates that either she doesn't know a good place to play, or that when she does play, she might have a little bit of a fear of playing other humans. Look at that. My son says hi.
I can't.
Hi, Hunter.
I can't watch the video, but I can type in the chat.
You can't watch the video, but you can type in the chat. That's
yeah.
Cute. Well, you're sitting right here.
True.
Okay, so what I'm gonna say is that a lot of people that were here is correct. What the heck? Why? Oh, okay. You know what? I think I can fix this. Well,
mine is restricted. I can't watch.
Okay, where's the moderation? I saw it just a second ago. There we go.
Okay.
Well, apparently I can't do this on the fly.
Okay.
I apologize, Eric. I don't know why this thing is banning. See, I don't know why this is doing this. This is a Stream Elements thing, so that means I have to figure out why Stream Elements is banning people for, or timing out people for silly reasons. Oh, look at that. That's a really good idea. So Eric decided he was gonna, in the intermediate range, been 10. Oh, very good. Yes, Eric, that was a very smart thing that you did there. Sending me a message through Facebook. That was really smart. I really don't know why this thing is, I can pull that up actually. Right, where'd you go?
Dado.
What, Huntero?
Bailey is watching the live stream.
Give me a minute. Hello. Yes. Hi. Yeah, I actually thought the times were on there. I'm really sorry. Is that a big deal? Okay. Thank you. Okay. Well, apparently Messenger doesn't like me. But this is here. I know why. I am replying so that Messenger knows you can speak. Okay, there we go. There we go. That's why here. That's why it wasn't showing up here. Okay, what it says here. Been 10 plus years since the last time I played seriously. This is good. I'm indirectly playing again due to Queen's Gambit, and a friend asked if I wanted to play. Yes, yes. Yeah. Most of the people were that are new, or there's a lot of people that are new and Chess Teachers and Learners that are because of the Queen's Gambit. Did you like the Queen's Gambit? I mean, is there anything that you didn't, or like, there's even questions about the Queen's Gambit that I can answer. That's fairly easy and even chess related. So let's see. So Mike, you can even text me in Facebook if you'd like, Mike, if that makes it a little bit easier, like the way that Eric did, because that was actually pretty brilliant of Eric to do that. Let's see here. I was wondering, Mike, if you're still there. Did you understand what I mean by opening up the position right away? Yeah, that's exactly, yeah. Plus, if they, technically, when you're in this position here, if you take the pawn, they don't really want to take this because when they take it, they actually develop you. And when they develop you, you're actually attacking certain things in the position, so it makes it harder for them to develop. Hi, buddy. You're trying to distract me, which is good. I actually think that's a good thing because some of these people, I told them that they could distract me if you want to. So I'm gonna throw something at you, okay? All right, all right. Okay, that's good that you get that. Every time that you think about a capture, when you're a beginner, one of the things you want to realize, one, that something is under attack, which is something that we already know that you had a little bit of a problem with. And then the other thing that you want to realize is when those attacks slow down the development of your opponent or speed up your development. So when you capture the pawn back this way, he has the opportunity to capture this way, but if he captures, that develops you. And that's why I'm suggesting that you play moves like this, because when you play a move like this, it's attacking the pawn and the knight, and that practically forces a pawn trade no matter what happens. I think it actually forces him to take, because if he moves the knight back, then you can push forward and it forks the knight and the bishop. And then, so when he captures, he doesn't want to capture you back because that'll just develop you, like I said. So he wants to do something like moving the bishop. And then you want to do something like moving out your bishop, putting the queen up, knight c3. Let's see. Oh, you're talking about that. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, because he can't fork you because you're attacking the queen. Yeah, I like that. Very good. Oh, you actually are doing really good in bringing up some resistance. But here you can play here. Oops. Here. So where's he going to move that queen? Now, on a side note, where you did move queen a6, he can actually go like this. And he's winning a piece. If you're not careful. So what happens is when he pushes this way, you're not wanting to take this way. You're wanting to leave that there and do something like move the bishop. So this is why you have to be very careful. Thank you for joining, Eric. Let me take a look at that last message because this stuff saves. I liked it. I started learning chess around the time Bobby Fischer was on top. Yes. So I like the storyline. My wife isn't into chess at all, and she enjoys the show too. Yes. Yes. Just in case you get a chance to see this later, Eric, which I'll see if I can remind you. I have the exact same thing going on. I wasn't in that area around when Bobby Fischer was on top because it was a couple of years before I was born. But I was since I was a couple of years after that born-wise, I was kind of more like in the Kasparov generation. And my wife isn't into chess, but her and my daughter, who is into chess, they both actually really enjoyed that movie as well. It was very impressive. Okay, is anybody else here? Speak up now so that I can know that you're here. And if Ranks is here, he can let me know he's here too. I just want to see. Howard, are you still here? Do we have any Michael Scott likes to post? This is really good. I like the fact that somebody's helping me try to spread this around. Hunter's still here. That Hunter, that's my son right there. I love my son. Okay, so we don't have like as many people as I thought we would, which is okay. I actually like any kind of interaction. So e takes f3. Oh, okay. So we want to. When you played Queen A6, he missed D5, F3, E takes, Bishop F5. This is good, right here. The only thing that might have been a little bit better is, aside from the fact back here, when he played here, you going here to get that tempo. The only thing that you could really do to help you out, besides Bishop F5, is to play the rook first. Because something that might help you out, and you can write this down if you want, is the threat is usually worse than the execution. So when you're here, this is considered an execution move. Whereas if you play Rook E8, that's actually threatening. And he has to think. He has to think. If you're playing Rook E8, he has to think, what are you doing that makes it to where when you're putting a rook down this file that you're actually going to do to him? He has to think about that kind of thing. And then your threat is to play Bishop to F5 on the next move with the idea that there might be some weird tactics. Okay? When reading chess books, should you have your chessboard set up so that you can follow the moves? Yes. Yeah. It's actually a practice that people will do both. So what you'll do is most of the time, let's say 98% of the time, you're going to look at your book similar to how I'm looking at this, and there's gonna be words in there. You want to look at that position, look at the words, and then look at the analysis. And I'll give you another hint. An analysis board. It's a little board. It's a little board that you can pop out, and then, for example, I have this up here. And if the book has an analysis and I want to keep the pieces correct, but I want to set it up on the board to try to move the pieces around, that's muscle memory that you're enhancing. So not only are you looking through the moves, you're also attempting to make your hands feel how the pieces move, and it helps with muscle memory. What are we doing? This makes sense to you, Mike. That's good. And that was a very good question, Ranks. Thank you very much for that. That was a very good question. The only reason why you don't use the board to follow the moves is if you are one of those people who, in conjunction, you're training blindfold. And that's very rare. Okay? Because I don't usually recommend blindfold for a lot of people. In this position, Rook B8. This position, right here, Rook B8. You want to know something? I don't think Rook B8 is that good in this position here. I think Rook E8 is better, but I want to give you something better than that, and that is here. Rook B8 now. Does that make sense, Howard? And you're actually threatening things like moving the bishop or the queen back, and you're pushing the pawn up to A5 and A4. So Rook B8 earlier, with a plan that I mentioned earlier, is way better. And to be quite honest, I would probably, if I was white here, I would be very scared. And I wouldn't even be thinking about taking this pawn on e4 because I'm not sure. I mean, maybe maybe you want to think about taking the pawn on e4, but you have to also consider the fact that if you take it now, there's the bishop to f5 move. So I'm not thinking of pawn takes or queen takes e4, but I might try to see if I can consider it at a later date. So that's why rook a to b8 at this point is better here, because the queen is still on a5, the pawn is theoretically immune, you're attacking. I would actually love this position as black. Okay, so f3, pawn takes, bishop f5 check, which I didn't criticize this very much. I just said that it might be a little better to do the threatening. Bishop d3, bishop. Hey, look, you did the bishop to g6 here, because if he takes, you can recapture with the pawn here, which is a pretty good idea. This is good. This is good. Another one is considering all the moves that's been played now. Now Howard's idea here, rook to b8 now. So there's a second time that rook to b8 is a good idea. And do you know what the threat is here, Mike? Mike is on Twitch, by the way, Howard. That's why it doesn't. You don't see his comments. Okay, so if you play rook to b8, you're pinning the pawn, and the immediate threat that white has to tackle is queen takes c4, because the pawn's pinned, and you get the pawn for free if he's not careful. And it's actually pretty easy to defend it. So he could do something like queen here. But I'm just kind of giving you ideas. Your move is probably just as good because of the fact that it's threatening the queen on this file. And if the queen moves out of the way, then you can set up that thing again where you play queen to a5. And you can try to see if you could checkmate him along these files. See, he moved the queen over here. So it looks almost like he's probably going to try to do this. So you can actually kind of take advantage of that just a little bit and create threats of your own. So like queen f6, for example, threatens this side. And then is there another one? Oh, you're explaining the pawn to g5 move. Yes. I like that move. When I first looked at g5, I didn't think it was that good because I thought bishop takes g5, but then I realized immediately that queen can come to g6. So no, g5. I think g5 is a pretty good move. Yeah, and then you did it. So, you know, you can give yourself a clap, because it's funny that, you know, even in like a beginner's type game, and I need to tell you something. One of our games when we played on that site that you like, you did really, really good and scared the manure out of me because I thought that you were gonna beat me. I'm not sure if I can pull up that game again, but you were very down about yourself on that game, and you were talking about how you didn't feel like you were doing that well. But there was spots in that game for, like, I'm gonna say 10 moves where I really thought that you were better, and that you were seeing things almost close to like an expert. So no, 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 you had a really good position. If I can remember what site it was or even what the game was, I could show you. But I'm telling you, during that game, I thought that you were doing really, you were playing like an expert for a long time there. And yeah, if you can find it and you want to post it to me, I guarantee I'll show you what it is that I'm talking about. So yeah, this is good. I don't really know what he's doing. So you get a piece out of this. You get a piece. He moves forward, which makes sense because he's trying to do this. And then he sacrifices 2 pawns. I don't understand that. Do you think doing puzzles are a good way to learn? Also, if you only play the computer, do you get a no. I don't think playing the computer you get a rating unless that computer rates you like Chess Master. I don't know if you've heard of this before, but it's I think after Chess Master 3000 that used to rate you, but it was very inaccurate. And you could play for a tournament, you could play for rating, but when you play the computer, usually you don't get a rating for that. On the other question, do you think doing puzzles are a good way to learn? Yes, I think that doing in between 5 and 15, maybe 20 to 25 puzzles a day helps you. And what you should do is set up the puzzle, and then any puzzle that you do, let's all right, any puzzle that you do, like this one for example, you want to take seriously. So you want to do something like set up a 5-minute clock. If you have a clock, you don't have to. I mean, just take 5 minutes. Look at it, try to calculate everything within that 5 minutes. If you get the puzzle correctly, congratulations, right? But if you get the puzzle wrong, don't feel bad about yourself. Just don't like rush into the next puzzle. You want to understand why the puzzle's wrong, and like never get mad at yourself for losing a puzzle. So right now this puzzle here might be really, I think it's probably difficulty normal. So you know what? I'm actually, I'd have to sit down and look at this one because for some reason I'm not finding this immediately, and I'm not sure why. So we're looking at check, king goes here, queen goes here. Oh, no. So check, king goes here, queen goes here, and then the king goes here and checkmate. So rook here, king goes here, queen goes here. If the king goes here, then rook goes here, and that's checkmate. So, like that. Oh, see, I got it wrong. But the first move was correct. So, you don't get mad at yourself, of course. That's what I was saying. And then you view the solution. So what I did wrong was queen e6 check, because I was expecting that the forced move is king here, and then you can checkmate here. But what I realize is that when you look through it, if you don't take this pawn, they can push it. But that kind of extends it a little bit. So at this point, queen takes e6 wins that pawn, and then it's also still threatening the checkmate, kind of. So I actually like this better. Sometimes when you're doing a puzzle and you think that you may have not learned what you need to, it's not a really good puzzle. So sometimes I'll go, oh, I don't like that, but most of the time I like it. So in this case, I really like this puzzle. And what you want to do is try to figure out why you got it wrong. And if you can do that, that's when you learn. When you don't get it, especially at a lower level, take it to somebody who can explain it to you. So like, if I didn't understand what I did wrong in this, I could take it to chess teachers and learners, post this in here and say, hey guys, can you explain to me why this didn't work? And that's part of a learning process too. Does that make sense, Ranks? Canis, hi. I love the way you spelled my name too. I probably would have liked to have spelled it that way too. Anyway, so welcome, and if you have any questions, let me know. I'm actually currently doing multiple things at once. So I'm analyzing a game for Mike, and I've been answering questions. And Ranks here has been really good at asking questions. So if you have something, let me know. I answered one from the group, which was about playing above your level, and what you should do is, I'm going to say probably if you want to improve the most, you want to play above your level about 70% of the time. And then the rest of the 30, it doesn't matter who you play. So at least 70% of the time you want to play somebody who's somewhere, if you can, somewhere at least 200 points higher rated than you are. And then once you play that person, you want to get that game analyzed as quickly as possible by humans. So that would be the answer to that question. Okay, so queen to c2 you took. And this is that thing I was talking about where I don't understand why he's just sacrificing 2 pawns, and you can just consolidate yourself to death. And then when you have more pieces than he does, he pulls his queen away from the fight. You see how that worked out too, Mike? Yeah. It looks like you're doing good on attacking a little bit, because just the simple fact that I just said he moved the queen away from the fight and then you attack the way you're supposed to indicates that you at least have some pretty decent ideas on how to attack when it comes around. Yeah, and this looks like mate here. So yeah, good job. Hopefully whatever it is that I told you kind of helped out a little bit. But I can analyze games. Yeah, I'm actually doing multiple things. When people ask a question, I was analyzing for Mike because I promised him I'd do it. I'm also offering games, so if you want to play a blitz game real quick, I don't mind doing that either. I actually have, it looks like about another hour, a couple hours, so I mean, I have time. Actually, what I was doing was I was sectioning off 3 hours just in case all the people that said they were coming are going to come, and there was like 25 people, so I was expecting a pretty good turnout. So I'm wondering if people just forgot. Just in case, this is me. I've been over 2100 for a very long time in Lee Chess. I don't usually play in chess.com, but I can. So I tend to have very bad luck with finding every cheater that lives in chess.com in the universe. One of my friends who's like 300 points lower rated than I am in USCF is 100 points higher rated than I am in chess.com. Analyze that. Okay. Is it in Lee Chess? Be careful though, Canis. If you try and post the PGN in Twitch, for some reason, uh, my Twitch thing is sanctioning people for some reason for doing spammy type things. Oh, my direct message. Oh, on Twitch. Thank you. Thank you. Matter of fact, I didn't even know I had direct messages on Twitch. Oh yeah, there we go. Are one of these you? Send me a message, Mike, uh, if you can. Uh, if you can send me the PGN through text message, I'll look at it and I'll show you. So you must be the Ava Gambit? Oh, you were spectating. Okay. All right. All right. And you're talking about this one because the account is closed, correct? Okay. All right. Let's see. This is what they look at right here. I don't see any issues right now with automatically doing anything. So they usually automatically flag people for less than 10 average centipede loss. If somebody got banned for something similar, then what they're looking at is they're looking at this guy who probably decided he was going to turn that person in. So if they got banned, it doesn't necessarily mean that they did anything wrong. It just means that they believe that maybe they got outside assistance or something. And I don't always 100% trust that assessment. Okay, so there it is. Okay, so this is a female, right? She? I want to make sure I get that right because I don't want to butcher anything. So we got a Queen's Gambit. Slav. Oh, she's toxic. That's It's not uncommon, actually. There's a lot of people, male and female, that are toxic on the online community. So we have a Slav. We have an exchange Slav. She's your chess coach. This is the new exchange Slav. So you're here, you automatically exchange, you exchange knight c3, knight f6, bishop f4. This is the new exchange Slav. And what it is a little bit more dangerous than the other ones because you're delaying the knight on f3 stuff. And when they reply with this kind of thing, then you have the added benefit of when e3 and bishop d3 is played, that you have the choice of playing knight f3 or knight e2 and knight g3. So it's actually very dangerous to for white to be able to attack in this formation. Let's turn this off for a minute because I don't like chess. I don't like computer analysis right now. So it looks like she's kind of doing similar to what I'm talking about, which is developing the bishops first, and then they're probably going to play things like this and this, and look forward to maybe even playing f4 and f5. It's a very good plan, as a matter of and they generally consider it one of the more safer ideas when you're doing like Queen's Gambit type move orders. Any kind of exchange, like Lasker's defense. Here, if you exchange it off and you get what this is called a Carlsbad pawn structure, and it's actually the safest when it comes to both sides. Way of playing is you clarify the pawn structure and then you know what the plan is throughout most of the game. So she's playing very safe, and she chose the knight f3 version, which is kind of positional in my opinion. And what you're looking for is you're looking to castle, play knight e5, possibly h4. Or not h4, but maybe she'll keep the king in the center, play h4, knight e5 or knight g5, and try to attack in this formation. So if they play like knight e5, like this, and you capture, the knight can go somewhere, let's say here, and then the queen can go like this, and there's a nice big attack on the h7 stuff. And like I said, there's a lot of ideas on how to attack the king side when it comes to this type of formation. It's similar to the London system. So she's decided to do the castle. This is actually right here. This is very common because when you decide that this bishop is no longer useful on this file and you just kind of move it back, and then when this white is castled like this, then it's better to play bishop takes, because if you move it back, there's no reason that if they take, there's no pawn capture that actually develops the rook. So this is a useful move right here to try to stop knight b4, because you might want to play rook b1, bishop back here, and then queen to d3. And this is a normal attacking pattern as well. You play a3, rook to c1, develop the rook, bishop to b1, queen to d3, and then as soon as you get the queen to d3, you're ready to play knight e5 with the same idea on how to attack. And then if the knight e5, knight takes, pawn takes, knight e4, you have the added option of playing f3 and you win a piece type stuff. So black has to be very careful here. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I like taking compliments like that. That's very nice of you. So yeah, she's actually very. It looks like she's very thematic. And then Black here, the only problem that he has is the fact that his bishop is hemmed in by its own pawns. That's really the only issue Black has right now. And this move here is actually very well timed because the fact that technically White's a little bit better developed than Black is, so opening up the position does favor White a little bit. But I'm going to say that that right now, unless there's a blunder, that's probably pretty equal. So they're actually doing pretty good. Oh, that must have been where the blunder is. Oh yeah, right here. You know what? When I went through it the first time, I didn't even notice that he played a5. That's really weird. I wonder why. I wonder why he did that, because that's very that's not really that good of a move at all. It's kind of obvious as to why it's bad too. To quote her, she said, "I got." Whoops. You know what? From the sounds of it, I might actually think I might like her. I'm pretty easy to get along with most of the time. I don't know why some people don't like me. Some people say they just don't like my attitude or whatever, but I think I'm pretty easy to get along with. But this here, man, I don't know why she. I'm wondering, are you saying that she got banned because of her attitude, or she closed her account because of her attitude, or was it because they claimed that she was using assistance? This is actually for a 2100 player. I wonder if he's lower. Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. Look at this. So he's no longer 2100 in this rapid. He's like over 6 games. He's dropped down to 17. That explains a little bit. Not trying to. She got a message from Lee to change her attitude. Okay. No offense, but I probably would. There's a good chance that we'd get along because I'd probably laugh at her a lot, you know, and not because I'm making fun of her, but because I'd probably find her funny. What I was going to say was, for a 2100 player, I don't know how he got this 2100 rating. Maybe he got lucky a little bit and kind of won the first few games. And but this here is actually a very nasty blunder for somebody that would be about 2100. So when I looked at his rating and noticed that he went down, it looks like very rapidly, it actually explains why he would make such a move. So knight takes f6, queen takes f6, and then of course this is the Mike, thank you for coming, sir. And I'll look at that game and make sure that you get the answer that I was talking to you about, okay? This bishop takes b5 is the natural consequence to that blunder, or I'd call it a blunder, to be honest. The computer's calling it a mistake, but I'm going to call it a blunder. That's really not very good at all. Yeah, see, this is actually a very sophisticated move right here, Canis. Allow. I don't know why this is doing that. At least it asked me this time. I've got to figure that out. Okay, so yeah, no, knight e5 is a very sophisticated move. Triple attack, yeah. As a matter of fact, that's you could actually consider that a triple attack because black can't take this knight because when it takes back, it's attacking the queen and it's attacking the bishop. So I mean, you practically just win a piece. It's very good, very good move. Does she have a rating somewhere else? I mean, I would imagine there's got to be at least 1900, 2000 here because this is very good move right here. And noticing that she didn't care that took here because they're not losing anything. Because even if she was worried about it, she could take here and still retain that pawn that she won. So just the simple fact, that she realized that knight e5 is just the better move. That's I'm very impressed with that. And then black didn't even realize what's going on here. He loses the queen even. Takes here. I guess this is a panic move because you can still take the queen. You just outright lose a big exchange here. She took it. So I'm not surprised in the least. And if he captures this way, you can capture this way and it doesn't lose the bishop in the process. The only thing at most that he'll get that's any compensation whatsoever is if it takes here and she recaptures with the bishop, you can capture here and you have a pawn that can go down, you know, as far as it needs to. But to save the time on this pawn, all she has to really do is play bishop c4. You don't want to play this move here because they can pass and then all of a sudden it's black who's winning. But in this position, play here, and this just blocks everything up. 2200, yes, I would believe that. Yes, judging from this game, I would totally believe that, especially after seeing this move right here. This is definitely a 2200 move right here. I wouldn't even be half surprised if it's a #1 on the computer list. Yeah, it likes knight e5, and that's not a very difficult move to find either. I mean, let's pretend like I was to say what difficulty level. For somebody that's around 21, 2200, like let's say me or apparently her or somebody else, this is not something that's necessarily difficult to find, especially if you have 10 minutes on the clock almost. But the fact that she found it really makes me believe that she's 2200, yes. It looks like that's exactly what happened. And then he blunders right away again. Going here? I don't understand this at all. Even if it didn't blunder checkmate, like which is, you know, queen to here, like the computer's saying, I don't like this, turn it off. But even if it doesn't blunder the checkmate. Oh, pre-move. Yes. Oh, that's a yes. Okay. That explains that. I have to get ready for work, but thanks for all the help, and I'll be on your next lesson for the... Okay. Thank you, Ranks. And like I said, you had very good questions, very helpful. Thank you very much. And I hope to see you very soon. Yeah, pre-move is definitely very, very astute observation. She just took the bishop. She didn't even care about the mate. It's funny because he probably wants to play with her food for a little while now. Okay. Let me preface that with, there's a good possibility that maybe she missed this because it's not exactly it's not always I wouldn't consider that always an obvious move. I mean, it's obvious to me, and it probably was obvious to her, but it's not always an obvious move to everybody. But if she was playing with her food, again, that's something that I do all the time, and it would probably be very entertaining to watch. Yeah, this was a very good game. I liked it. Thank you for showing it to me. And did you like the analysis of it? Oh, okay. Okay. Let's pretend like we're in competition. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. But yeah, I'm glad. If you like her and she helps you out a lot, I think that's a very good thing. And sometimes if you find somebody that's better and you want to do both of them, by all means. Mortimer trap. No? If you want to explain it, that would be okay too. Is it in the Roy Lopez? Roy Lopez. Okay. Oh. Oh. No. You know what? You know what's funny about this is I played the Roy Lopez for like 20 years, and I've never seen this trap. It's similar to the bird trap though. This one here. This is the bird trap because this move here is the bird open or bird defense. So when you take and you take and they play D3, then when you play C6, you give them the option to fall into losing a piece, and that's bishop to A4 instead of bishop to C4, and the opening move is actually bishop C4. So when you play C6, you don't want to play bishop C4, or you want to play bishop C4. I have no earthly idea why bishop to A4 is even a move on here, because I really don't. It's almost like whoever was playing these three games here just didn't realize that they were winning a piece. So you play like queen A4 and you're winning the piece here. It's a simple trap. I'm not really sure why they wouldn't even see that. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh, that's interesting. Maybe I don't know. Maybe this is a blitz thing. Because I've resigned this game before, where I thought that this was being trapped. Hey, apparently experts can not know theory either. But yeah, that's very interesting. I've never seen the Mortimer idea before. Now, if you're a Roy Lopez player, have you ever seen Wow, why am I not remembering what it's called? Hi, Mr. Hunter. That's my son again. Why am I not remembering this? Okay. Follow me on this, okay? So, we have the open variation, right? And on the open variation, this is where we're supposed to play d4, and then they play b5. So you're like a King's Indian player, yes? King's Indian attack. Bishop to b3, d5, d takes e5, and then bishop to e7. Um, the move order was here. Bishop e6, I believe. c3. Knight c5. Oh, it was c3. Okay, so c3. Yeah, I believe this is it here. I believe this is it here. Oh. There it is. This is it here. Um, when it comes down to it, it's been literally like 10 years since I've actually done this. But it's called... There it is. It's called the Karpov Gambit. I don't know why I didn't think of that. But when I first saw this, Gary Kasparov played it against Anand, which was right here in 1995. And the crazy thing is he played it like 5 times in the same match against the same person. And every single time, Anand declined the knight because literally he's just giving away a knight. And we had 10 people sitting on this position, ranging in between 900 rated and 1700 rated at the time, because we were all pretty low rated, and the highest rated player was a 1700 player. So this was back when I was like 900. We're looking at about 1995, like this, and we started getting the magazines for Chess Life, and they would come out, and every Chess Life would have a new game in it. And we saw this game, we were like, why in the heck isn't this knight being taken? And then a couple of more magazines later, or maybe the same magazine, and it said that the knight is taboo, because we didn't want to look at the analysis right away. We wanted to try to figure it out ourselves. And it said the knight is taboo. So what I was wondering is have you ever seen this position before? That's great because it's actually very exciting. Anyway, it's not that important, but I'm going to show you real quick. Queen takes, and then the whole idea behind this whole thing is the fact that it's showing here Queen F3, which is the correct move, and it's threatening Bishop takes E6 and Queen here with an X-ray through the knight, so the knight literally can't move, and the whole idea is just the simple fact that it's playing against this pin on the knight here, and the main move which was given was King to D7 at the time, and yeah, and a check on C6. That's correct. So the main move that was given in Chess Life was King to D7, but the computer, after it started getting stronger, because in the year like 1995, the computers really weren't that strong. I think the strongest computer engine was Crafty, like version 10 or something, and it would give something like Castle, and that became the new norm. But if King to D7 here, then you were supposed to play Bishop to D5. And it threatens the knight and the bishop, and if the bishop takes, the queen takes, check, and it wins the piece back by force. So it was crazy because we literally spent like 3 days trying to figure out back here why this knight can't be taken. And it's funny because we couldn't figure it out, and we had to defer back to the Chess Life magazine, and it was one of the most exciting analysis sessions I'd ever had. And I thought that I would share that with you, since you shared those two nice games with, or you shared the nice game with me, and then you were talking about that other trap, which is actually probably something that you should know if you're the Mortimer trap. You should probably know it if you're a Roy Lopez player. But that was very exciting. How about this one? Just for giggles, because it looks like nobody else is here. I think Howard is still here, so I might close this down a little bit. The session was awesome. I love this. I'm glad that people came. But it looks like it's getting close to the time for me to close this down anyway. And I think that I'm going to do this weekly, where I just freehand it. People can talk to me freely, ask questions, and we can play games and I can analyze for you. But real quick, California, USA, United States, planet Earth, Milky Way galaxy. It depends on where you're from. Oh, you want to hear a really weird thing? There was a woman once that bet me, not money wise, but she bet me that she could tell me where I am in the world down to the region, right? So, and she was out of the country. I'm from the bad country in Near Eastern. I'm not sure what that means. I don't consider any country bad. Europe, I would actually like to visit Europe. Anyway, I took her up on the bet, and she listened to my accent, and she goes, "You're from the western United States, around Central Oregon." And now that is crazy, because I was born in Oregon and I was literally almost raised in Oregon. Oh, Israel. Okay, I understand why you say bad. Okay, yeah, I don't consider that bad, but I understand why. Okay, I have to answer that later. Yeah, no, it scared the crap out of me. I thought she was hacking me, because when I called her, it is very hard to be able to tell somebody, hey, you're from the United States, just based on your English accent. But she narrowed it down not only to what country, but what side of the country, what state, and what area of the state that I was in, which I'm going to say, unless she was cheating somehow, that scared the crap out of me because it was almost magical. Okay, so this here, I wanted to show you something that's also kind of magical before I go. And there's a trick here, and I was wondering if you ever seen it. So knight c6, and you got bishops to c4, and there's a trap that's actually unsound and it's refuted. So it's a knight here. So what I'm wondering is have you seen it, and do you know what the trap is? Thing's saying somebody I know wants to talk to me. Howard's giving us a comment. It's actually a trap for black, Howard. And the refutation is to allow black to capture this knight. So what you want to do is you play c3, knight takes c3, and queen takes c3, and then you have super development. So it's like a theoretical refutation where white gets a lot of developmental edge. But the trap is if the knight takes the pawn here. So once the knight takes the pawn, then the queen comes out to g5 here, attacks the pawn and the knight. And then if the knight captures, and I don't think it matters which one, but if the knight captures, then the queen takes, and you're attacking this here. The common, you can't take back because of the bishop. Yes, that's right, because of the bishop. Yeah. When the thing is I don't think it matters. With the bishop takes, it still doesn't matter, because once the king moves, this knight and bishop are under attack still. So if this knight moves somewhere, they're still attacking the pawns. So I just wanted to address that. So when the knight takes, the queen takes down here, and then when the rook is under attack, the most common move that everybody play is this. And then you take the pawn here for check. And then the only way to keep in the game is to play queen e2 and sacrifice your queen. Because if you block with the bishop, then a knight f3 is checkmate. Yeah, it's a beautiful checkmate. Absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, I saw this, I'm going to say I saw this about 20 years ago. Yeah, I saw this about 20 years ago. It was in a book called The Mammoth Book of Chess. And I always wanted to try to play this, but when I was developing 20 years ago, I did try this, but it was one of the first lessons that I got in tension and tempo. So when you go back to the beginning and you play here, I never actually played this. I actually invented the refutation myself when I was playing in another site, and I actually thought about this myself, and I found out that this is much better than worrying about this knight takes e5, because you can't refute the attack after knight takes e5. No matter what, queen to g5 gives black a huge advantage, no matter what you do. So after that, you just kind of go into logic mode, and if you can't take the knight, then you want to move this knight. So that's why c3 was so important. And then the rest of it is just beautiful. So I thought you'd enjoy that. Yeah. The knight drops. Does the queen have to take the pawn? You talking about here? Better the knight than the king. Yes, I like your logic. Yes, okay. So yeah. You're talking about here, right, Howard? So my question to you, Howard, is, you asked, does the queen have to take the pawn? But my question is why would you not take the pawn? Because you want to disrespect. I'm going to tell you right now, if you see somebody play knight to d4, they're disrespecting you. Yeah, they're definitely disrespecting you. Yeah, queen of g5. The thing that you got to understand is that when you play queen of g5 here, you have the full intention of taking on g2. Okay? That's your intention. That's your friend, right? That's the mouthing friend that I told you I'd probably like because I'd probably laugh at her, right? Or laugh with her, or however you want to call it. So yeah, queen of g5, full intention of taking the pawn on g2, in which case, yes, the rook goes to f1, and then you take the pawn on e5. And the only way out of checkmate is play queen here, and the knight takes. So when the bishop interposes, then you play knight f3, checkmate. Yeah. Does that answer your question, though, Howard? I'm glad you showed up on Twitch as well. It is. It's a nasty little trap. Yes. Okay, so no, it doesn't answer your question. So we'll go back here. And you want to know if there's another move other than queen. Oh! You're talking about here, aren't you? You're saying why not knight f3 here, right? Yes. Let me see if I can remember what the problem is. I think this is correct here. Are we talking about this position here? Want to make sure that we got the right thing. Why does the queen have to check what? Oh, this is a viable move though, just in case you want to come back. So knight still takes on f7. Okay, why does the queen have to check? So you're talking about here, rook f1 and here? Is that what you're talking about? Okay. All right, okay. So why does the queen have to check? Oh. You want to know if this is right? Okay, so let's pretend, Howard, that we play here and the king is forced here. What's the follow-up? That the best way to answer your question is to follow the logic, and then once you get into the position that I'm talking about, you ask yourself what the follow-up is. So from here, what is your follow-up? Because I think it's a very good question that you're asking. Knight takes h2. Okay. I think we should address what Canis said, which is you're still attacking. The rook is still under attack. You did you notice that? That's okay. It doesn't work, no. But let me say that the fact that you want to look at it is actually very good in the learning process, because when you look at something and you don't dismiss it, it means that you'll be able to see in the future similar patterns. So while you go back this direction, this knight is actually blocking off the king. Okay, and when you play the knight to f3, now you're not blocking off the king anymore, and he starts moving up the board, and you play knight takes h2, and you're actually letting this king out of its own little trap. And while it might not be that safe to take the rook right now, you're kind of playing with your food over here. Hi, Emmanuel. I wasn't sure if anybody else was coming in, so I was thinking about closing this down. But if you do have questions, let me know. We've been at this for about 2 hours, and we've been actually having some pretty good fun. Claire's here. Oh, have you been here for a while? Because I addressed your question a while back. This one. Were you here for that, Claire? Oh, did you feel like I answered your question good enough? Hi, Eric. I'm glad you're back. Because I'll tell you what, just the simple fact that I found out that you were here, because what I was going to do was I was going to link this video for you specifically, because when I saw this, I was thinking that this is a very good beginner question, and that it needed addressed even if you weren't here, and I was going to link it to you. So the thing now is, you said some of it, so if you want to rephrase this so that I can answer it better, let me know. You're forcing the king in the middle. Yes, you're forcing the king into the middle. Now, what I want to, Howard, what I want you to realize is when we take the pawn and we force the rook over to f1, your check here forces two things. It forces both the fact that you either need to block with the queen or the bishop, and both of them are losing. So when you know for a fact that both are in your favor and that you're winning, you always take the one that you know is winning. And like I said, going over lines that are alternatives, always good to do that, always. Because if you ever have question as to whether or not a line is better, and you want to know if that line is better, you'd never, ever, ever avoid that. You want to go through it, because there's one of the biggest mistakes that people make, even as even as higher rated players, is they assume they already know something and they'll skip over important stuff and then wonder why when they're trying to analyze positions that they're not getting any better. So, all right. The key to getting better when you're playing people that are higher rated than you, and you play them you try to do at least 70% of the time if you can. You want to play humans, because computers don't really teach you anything. And I know that sounds funny, but the humans and computers play completely differently. So when you're playing, you want to try to see if you can get more humans than computers. And you're talking about this, aren't you? When I said that knight to d4 is actually disrespecting you, yes, yeah. There's a lot of moves that are disrespectful. So this one, I will block somebody for this one.
I know he is.
Hi.
We're gonna order from Howard. What do you want?
Just a burger.
They have a new crispy chicken burger.
Okay.
Crispy chicken sandwich. Do you want that, or do you want a hamburger?
No, let's do the chicken sandwich.
Okay, and then do you want fries?
Yes. And just a soda.
I got you a shake, the coffee shake.
Yes. Okay.
Hunter, come here.
Right. So this is very disrespectful, and a lot of people will play this and that they think that they're doing something cool, but it's totally refuted. You make tough. Yes. Yeah. But it's refuted. Like, most people know that it's refuted. And it's really just... Yeah, it's really just something that people play for fun, like in a bullet game, because bullet, it's kind of harder to refute. But if you're sitting across from somebody and you have at least 30 minutes on the board, I would say it's probably the most disrespectful gambit in all chess, right there. The only thing more disrespectful than playing that is playing the Bong Cloud. If you ever heard of the Bong Cloud, The only reason that you play the Bong Cloud is if you're a buddy with the person that you're playing and they're willing to play the Bong Cloud against you. Otherwise, it's literally a disrespectful opening. So, like, this is the Bong Cloud opening. And you're basically doing this, and then you practically agree to a draw. And I know that there was a friend of mine. He lives about 100 miles from me, maybe 125 miles from me. He told me one time that if I played King E2, he would play King E7 and offer me a draw. And that's any time. So like if we played in a big money tournament and we're both fighting for first place, and I want to signify that I'm going to play a draw, all I have to do is play King E2 against him. There's another thing too. I'm going to try to do this every week, Claire. If you ever want to try to see if you can get a 10-minute game against me, similar to what I'm doing here, if you're here and this becomes popular, I'll offer things like a 5 and 10-minute game with analysis, and that's really no problem. I would play C3, I guess. Wait, are you live? Yes, I'm live on YouTube too, Candace. Yes. I pay for a gigabyte connection, so I can sponsor up to 4 live connections if I want. That's why I'm getting such good questions. You think that would help you? That's very good. Yes, yes. And what's my name on YouTube? Jumpin' Mustang.
No.
What?
It's not. It's
Jesse. Is it Jesse?
It's Jesse Turner Chess, I think.
Jesse Turner Chess.
Well, that's what I put in. I searched up chess Jesse Turner on YouTube to get the live stream that I'm watching right now. But
that's my YouTube channel right now. Where's my... So let me ask you this, Claire, because you just opened up a little bit. And Emmanuel, if you have a question, you can ask. Oh, you might enjoy that then, Claire, because anytime that I go live, which I try to do, I try to go live weekly. I'll do things like offer to analyze people's games. So like on Fridays, Candace, he's on 2 channels. I love this. Both Candace and Howard are sitting on. Yeah, you can subscribe to both channels, Candace. So on Fridays, I play in this. I'm going to show you, Claire, and this is very, very important. Do you play in Lead Chess, Claire? Open tournaments.
Mr. Daddy.
What's this? Oh, yes.
Mr. Daddy.
What?
What was I going to say? Oh, yeah.
You're going to tell me that you want to rub my back.
No, I was going to tell you, can I subscribe?
Yes, if you think you can. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, so Lead Chess is... Okay, well, where do you play? Is it chess.com? You're planning on looking afterwards? Yeah, all it is leadchess.org. And it's free. You can't beat free. It's lighter than chess.com. I like Lead Chess because it's lighter than chess.com. They're dedicated to a live server, whereas chess.com was dedicated to being a correspondence server at first. So their live server wasn't as it's like bulky to me. That might not be true for everybody, but it's bulky to me. So what I wanted to show you, if you ever want to try to get into online games, Candace, I'm gonna say that anytime that I get online and you want to play in a tournament with me, I sometimes try to see if we can like ever get a game together in the same tournament, or if you want to play me specifically, like in a situation like this, you can request it. Oh. So it's kind of like on a, it's kind of like on maybe an iPhone then. At least that makes sense. And it makes sense to as to what your question is too, yes. It's true. A lot of the times online chess has a lot of cheaters, especially if you go to chess.com. The ratio of cheaters on lead chess, for my experience, is I'm gonna say about 20%. No, not. I mean, let's say 15%. Yeah, but the thing is that this is coming from somebody who has close to a master's rating on lead chess. So somebody who has got a 21, 2200 rating on here, you'll end up finding more cheaters. And then the higher you go, like let's say you get 23, 24, 2500, you're going to find more cheaters in that direction as well. But when you're like 16, 17, 1800, you are finding cheaters. But I'm going to say that you might not be finding them as much. So, Claire, what and Canis, and well, anybody really. What I wanted to show you was on Fridays. It's this one. So every Friday they have a weekly classical tournament, and I try to get all of my followers, whoever is following me or whoever's watching me or whatever, or good friends, to try to join this tournament with me. It's every Friday around 9 a.m. My time. So like Eastern time, that would be like I think 12 or 1. And then Grandmaster time, that's like 5 p.m. I'm in Pacific Standard or Pacific Daylight. Well, that's because you're young, Mr.
Can't I like change to mom's account?
Yeah. No, because I don't like you. I don't want you on mom's account right now. So the time control in this is 20 minutes with a 10-second increment. So every move that you make, you gain 10 seconds. And it's a very good tournament. I suggest that if you play this, that you don't put a thing where you play the whole thing. Yes. I'm -8, and then, yeah, you would, if you're +2, then that would make me -10 to you, I would guess. I'm very bad with time zones. Oh, this is what I wanted to explain. When you join the tournament, you don't have to you don't have to commit to the whole 5 hours. It's an arena tournament, so you just make a goal. And what I usually recommend is at least 3 games. So if you're going to play in a weekly classical arena, you join, let's say, 9 o'clock or even 10 or 11. As long as you can get in at least 3 games, you're doing well. And then you want to try to, hopefully, you want to try to get at least one of those games where the person is 200, 300, or 400 points stronger than you. The apps where you do tactics and stuff for beginners, those are good, but when it comes down to playing, your best bet to get better is to actually play on lead chess, and then make sure that you at least try to get games with people that are hopefully human, because I haven't really had that many problems with lead chess when it comes to people that will cheat. and I should knock on wood, but yeah, I've had very good luck when it comes to who I play with on Lead Chess on average. Hello, sir.
Can I subscribe to my other favorite YouTubers?
I don't know.
No.
All right. Yeah, Alpha Zero. You know, I got a Leela, and I thought that was going to be my strongest engine, and then it wouldn't analyze past certain ply. I think it was 10, and I couldn't figure out why it wasn't analyzing past 10 ply. So I went ahead and on a recommendation, I installed the new Stockfish New, which is 12, and it's like Leela and Alpha Zero, and apparently it has similar ways of analyzing a position, like it has a neural network and everything, and that thing blasted Leela out of the water, and I don't know why. It literally just blew Leela out of the water. Oh, what time is it? Oh, well, we technically have time.
What do you mean technically?
What is this?
What do you mean technically? Live streams can go to 50.
Yeah, I scheduled 3 hours for this thing.
Oh. Whatever. Live streams can be unlimited.
Live streams can be unlimited, you think? Well, I hear from my audience here that I've been doing pretty good.
I mean, like, unlimited time.
So what?
You don't have to stop.
Okay,
You can be playing chess all night and day.
Yeah, he's on here commenting too. Hunter, tell her hi. Tell Claire hi. Because you're commenting, remember? Claire's talking to you. She said that I'm doing okay. Or great. Whatever the thumbs up is. She did a thumbs up. Okay, chess base. Yeah, I know.
Claire's chatting.
I'm going to show you a trick, Claire. I don't know if you know this or not, but this is ChessBase. The new ChessBase reader. And this is a trick that everybody can do, and it's perfectly legal. But what you do is, let's see, where is it? Where's the search?
I don't know. Where's the search?
Download. Right here. Okay. You see how this says ChessBase Reader 2017? Excuse me. Let me get a drink real quick.
Lunch is coming soon, you know.
Okay. This has been like this for years, since I think ChessBase came out. But what they do is they offer a paid version and a free version. The paid version is at least $100. And if you get things like the database, like the mega base, it jumps up to like $400. So and that's this here, the mega database. If you get the mega database that has comments in it, it jumps up to like $400. So this here is the free version. You can download it freely and you can use it, and there's really no crippling, except for I think it limits the size of how much of a database that you can create, or it makes it to where you can't create your own databases. You can only load already made databases. Most of the time, you don't need to worry about creating your own databases. Excuse me. So the trick that I was going to show you was, if you download the ChessBase Reader, it should be similar to this. So when you go back to ChessBase, and this is your database window, and it's, I think it's up to ChessBase 16 now. So either ChessBase Reader is now ChessBase 14 or ChessBase 15. And it should look similar to this. And the trick that I want to show you is that when you pull up like a board, and let's say you play a few moves or something, and you're just like kind of looking through it, there's a database feature called Online, and if you push it, it'll pull up the database that costs so much money. Like, literally, this is practically the same database that you buy from ChessBase. So the restriction is, I think you can't like download games or something. It's not even that big of a deal. The whole point of having a database is just the fact that you have access to the games, so that you can click on them and pull them up easy. So having ChessBase Reader with the idea that you could go online and see the database for yourself is actually kind of a good trick or hack for you. And you don't have to do it now because you're probably not really thinking about that, but just in case you ever wanted to get into like, you know, deeper ideas, ChessBase is free. Okay, so how many people do we have? Anybody else here? Live chat. Yeah, or we ask you. I don't know why this is. I'm looking at that and Leech S after. Okay, very good. Very good. Okay, anybody have any more questions? Because actually, I mentioned something for you, Eric. This should save in my YouTube thing. I don't know if it saves in Twitch, but it definitely saves in YouTube. So around the time that you left, I gave you a message in there, and you can review it so that you can see if I told you of anything of value. So I believe I answered a question for you. I don't quite remember, but it was when you left. And I mentioned that I'm going to answer something for you just in case you get a chance to review it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is this is the first event that I had like this, and to be quite honest, I'm very happy with the fact that, you know, 5 or 6 people showed up. I was hoping for 30, but when you do a first show, you can't really expect too much, right? And what I wanted to do is I'm going to try to do this every week, and I try to get on at least twice a week. Once on Monday, once on Friday, and we just do things like this. And then I'm going to be uploading beginner tutorials as soon as I can. You are very welcome, Candace, and I hope to see you. I hope to see a lot more of you because it was very entertaining. And then let me know if your friend ever wants to show up and chit chat or mess with me a little bit. You're from Oregon, Claire. I was born in Oregon and raised in Oregon, and I'm currently in California. Okay, so if nobody else has any questions, what I'm going to do is you guys can contact me anytime you'd like on Facebook. I'm basically trying to get to know everybody and let them know that I'm here. So just let me know if you have any questions. Wait a second. Oh, for a second there, I thought you were, I thought you were talking about me again. Oh, okay. Yes, I do believe there's another person named Me Want Cookie, and that's the funny thing is because I thought I had this name first everywhere, and when I signed up for this Twitch account, I found out that there was somebody with Me Want Cookie first here, so I just went ahead and put I'm Me Want Cookie too. That's hilarious. Thank you so much for that. Want Cookie with 2 E's? Yeah, I didn't think of that actually. Let's see. All right. So this is a very successful one. I'm going to go ahead and sign off of here so I can eat. And what I'm hoping is that you guys become regulars, and maybe we can try to play some too. So hopefully I see you either Friday or next week. You guys have a good day, okay? And thank you for coming.